Hey y'all, it's Natalie for Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and today I'm using the July Journey Limitless kit to create my layout. And so I have created this photo strip of our cute little camper. I have a couple of the outside. I have one of it in the rearview mirror with our water tower saying, "Hey, see you later, city. We're going camping." I have one from a view of the inside with the window. So I just wanted to document our sweet little camper that we love and that's taken us on so many adventures. So I'm using the adorable cardstock cut that is the camper as well. That is not in the Journey Limitless kit. That's a little bit of a separate item, but it coordinates so well. So I'm just looking through all of the papers to decide what I want to back the cut file with. I definitely want to fussy cut that mountain range paper, so I don't want to do that. I'm also looking to see what I would like to make as the background paper. So I do consider this one that's like a topographical map situation. I really like the idea of fussy cutting some of those squares out. But then I flip over this green one and I really like the very muted background. It's a little bit of a grid. There's some interest there, but it's still very light and not going to take away from all of the ideas that I have for backing the cut file. So that's what we end up going with. And there's my cut apart sheet from P13. So I decided to go with that grid. And then I choose this paper to back the main background of the circle, which I love because I think it's so fun. It looks like my camper is parked in front of the mountains and a forest and the silhouettes at night or something like that. So that is why I decided to go with that paper. But while I'm doing this, I'll talk about my other decisions that I decided to do on this. So you see that one picture, it's the one I popped up because it's one of my favorites. It's just the camper that's sitting in its little parking spot that we have for it at our house. But I was sitting in the hot tub and I took a picture of it. It's got my favorite crepe myrtle, hot pink flowers, and a sunset. And so I love the hot pink flowers and I wanted to put some additional hot pink on the page, but there wasn't really in the kit. And so that's where I decide to just use some distress oxides and color a little bit of white cardstock with them and use them to help back the rest of the camper cut file, just so I have additional pops of pink on the page. So I'm going to use this paper, the blue little polka dot paper, but then the bottom below the camper kind of seems like grass. So I used a little strip of that green paper. But then this is where I use my ink blending brushes to just put some color on some white cardstock. I use that hot pink, and then I also use a little bit of yellow because I felt like that was another color that I could bring out of the photos. And so I'm just going to use the blending brush on some smooth white cardstock and then use that to back a few portions of that cut file to bring in the pink. So I'm on the Not Just for Boys Kit Club blog today, so you can go check out all the detail shots over there. I'll link it down below, and I'll also link the kit. So if you want to grab one, they're still in stock, which is lucky because they are awesome. And I'll link that down below as well. I'll also link our Facebook group if you would like to come join. We have lots of fun challenges every month, and there's so much inspiration. This design team is so incredible. Like, everyone on the team is so talented, and I love being on this team. So there I just did a little bit of that fossilized amber, and we have a finished product. I even put a little bit of vellum where the window of the camper is going to be. It actually had some constellations on it. That was just like a scrap from my stash. I'm going to make a glitter tire to pop up, and then I'm also going to pop the door up, which I colored pink as well, on some foam tape. So we have a little dimension there. What is next? Oh, that's me popping it up on foam. And I had a lot of fun making this layout. I love these pre-made cardstock cuts because I tell you, it makes me a little lazy. I haven't had my Cricut out in forever because I just love getting them from them and not having to deal with the updates or the computer. I'm on the computer all day at work. So when I craft, I am not interested in using things like that. I'm trying to relax. So this is kind of the vibe that I'm going with, and I'm going to use the P13, I think they're P13, sticker, whatever, the little alphas that come in the Journey kit to put our hashtag on there. So it's very long, but I put that hashtag on all of our photos, and I'm going to make it kind of wrap around the circle of the frame. But before I do that, I'm just drawing the circle a little bit within, so you won't see my pencil lines, but I just wanted a little bit of a guide because I'm going to put some sprinkles or some splatters all the way around that frame. So I'm just using a very small paintbrush and 3 distress oxides to add some really delicate splatters around that frame. And so that just adds some of the colors from the cut file and the photos onto the background and kind of brings cohesion to the page. So I just put a little bit of distress oxides on my glass mat, spritz it with water, and there we have a really fun mixed media background. I didn't even add gesso. This paper is really thick. It has like almost a little bit of a shiny texture to it. So I figured it could withstand just a little bit of water that I was going to do with the minimal splatters. So I commit to sticking down that cardstock cut where I had, to cover the pencil lines where I had drawn the frame, and then I stick down my photo strip there. And now it's time to embellish as well as put the title, which is my hashtag. I've been using this hashtag for a few years, probably right about the time that we actually got our camper. And if you don't have a special hashtag, I highly suggest it because it's really fun to go into your systems. I use Instagram and click your hashtag, and like all your favorite trip memories come up. Like, it's super fun. And I put it in my YouTube videos too. So these alphas are really baby blue, and they didn't pop off the page really well. So I grabbed a pink pen, and I'm going to very carefully outline all of the letters all the way around in pink. And so it will help them pop off the page, but it will also, help tie in, again, another element that will help tie in. Like all these little pink pops of pink will just help bring together the background, the cardstock cut, and the photos. And it just gives a really nice cohesive look. When you are designing things, repeating an element multiple times helps to do that. And so repeating this pink color multiple times helps with the design and the aesthetic pleasing nature of the page. So I zoomed in a little bit so you can see. Just go really carefully. I knew I was going to be doing this, so I made sure to keep lots of good space between all of my letters to give me room for it. But just be careful because you don't want to miss and write on the letter or anything like that. So now I'm going to fussy cut a little bit out of this P13 paper because I want just a few other things to stick around the page. So I'm going to cut out that little cup, the little coffee mug, and then I'm also going to do the 2 folding camping chairs and the campfire and use those to embellish around the page. I felt like the colors went really well with what I already had. And, we set our chairs outside our camper. And so it's like I created a little scene. And those, I'm not a huge fan of fussy cutting, but I'll do it. I do need to replace the blade in my X-Acto knife, but I fussy cut around the chairs at first, and I was like, maybe I can leave the insides around the legs, but I decided it looked better if I did not. So I did pull out the X-Acto knife and kind of trimmed out those insides between the chair legs. And so again, since I popped up that one photo and I popped up the door, I'm also going to pop up a couple of the die cuts or that title or the subtitle there because I want to repeat that element around the page as well. So the chair legs were pretty skinny, so I didn't want to pop those up on some foam because I would have to cut my foam tape really, really skinny. So I just dealt with popping up the campfire, but that was nice because then I could layer it over the chairs a little bit. And then I popped up that title about traveling or adventure. I forgot what it said off the top of my head, and I don't have the layout in front of me. But that's going to be it here in a second. We're going to call it a layout. So check out those links below. You can still grab a Journey Limitless kit from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And also this adorable little cardstock cut from the store. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.